Hey guys, welcome to a very special edition of Rebel Media. When I was a little kid, my mom gave my dad a coffee table book for Monticello. And I remember looking through it as a little kid and thinking how beautiful that place was. And as I grew up, my dad and my mom would tell me all sorts of stories about Thomas Jefferson, and then I got older and I started reading about him, and you know, he's probably one of my most favorite people in history to study, one of my favorite presidents. And my dad passed away and he was never able to come here, so this episode is dedicated to him. This is my first time here to Monticello, and it's a Thursday, and about 11 o'clock, and there are a lot of cars. I had to come all the way down to the bottom lot, so definitely more people than I was expecting.
That all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
And then greatly expanded to be 21 rooms to get 3 stories. So the expansion of the house, not all of a sudden that they did. So it might have been
Thomas Jefferson called this place the Outbuilding, and it was the first structure here on the mountain before the house was even built. And he lived in there before he got married to his wife. And then this was his house here originally. And I guess it eventually became a study, and he kept all his law books in here. This gives you an idea of Mrs. Jefferson. And Thomas Jefferson was 6 feet tall, so you see, like the shorter ladies. So finally got a minute alone here. So far, it's $99 to go to all 3 levels. And this tour starts at 2, which is 2 hours from now, and I have a schedule to keep, so I got the cheaper tour for $44. Lets you go on the grounds and in the house. Very expensive, very strict. I went through a metal detector. They searched my bags, like very not Thomas Jefferson at all. He would not be into any of that, I don't think. But anyways, it's about 30 minutes before the tour starts. I don't know what I'm going to be able to film, or if that's going to be allowed or what. Thomas Jefferson was a fascinating man. I've always been fascinated by him and his accomplishments. He could speak Greek and Latin, could play violin, piano, could read music. He was a lawyer, philosopher, an inventor, an architect. I mean, just ridiculous. Just such a smart guy, and his view of American liberty is so important and so true to my heart. Absolutely love Thomas Jefferson, so this is really cool, and I feel very lucky to be here. Check this place out today. Here's the North Pavilion. Locked. Alright, so we're about to begin the tour here. Notice the clock up top there. That's going to be important when we get inside the house. But everything was very rushed. They walked us in here, and I guess Jefferson wanted to have things to talk about when people entered his house. And if you look around here, there's no grand staircase or any of that. He said that was a silly waste of space. Alright, so back to this clock. It was a mirrored image between the inside and the outside of the house. Not only that, but it would also tell you what the days of the week were. And, it's interesting because back in the day, who cared what the day of the week was, But he did, and he had this whole cannonball system here. The weights would go around, and he'd know what day it was and what time it was. So I thought that was pretty cool. That's one of his inventions right there. So this is where they were cramming these large groups into the room. We didn't even spend a minute in this room. We just walked right through it. But you can see how beautiful it is. After the War of 1812, when so many books were destroyed, Jefferson donated his books, but these ones behind the glass here, those were actually his books. But he donated all his books to the Library of Congress, and you can see those today. I've actually been there too. This was a room that I would have loved to spend a whole lot more time in, but again, they pushed us right through. It's so cool how you can see where he could leave his study and roll into bed. And then on the other side here, you see the skylight. That was very innovative back in the day. Skylights were not a normal thing, but he designed his house to get as much light in there as possible, which is pretty cool. And that's also the bed that he died in. Here you can see a lock of his wife's hair and his watch, which is pretty cool. Those are actually his boots, guys. He actually put his feet in there. They told us. At least that's what they told us. This next room we're about to walk into, I wish we could have spent more time in. I guess that is his piano, but his violin has been lost to history. Nobody knows where it is. All these portraits are put up to inspire conversation, they said, that he would bring people in there and discuss the different men on the walls, including the Lewis and Clark expedition. Alright guys, what do you think about this color? I mean, I kind of like it, but a lot of people don't. And as you can see, he's got another skylight in there, but the color was to brighten up the room and bring cheer. And here on the edge of the fireplace, you can see the system that he designed where the servants down below could pass up the wine and beers or whatever he had down there, and he would send them up there, and they'd go on like a dumbwaiter type system, which I thought was pretty interesting to see firsthand. According to our tour guide, Thomas Jefferson didn't want much interaction with the servants when he had guests. So the waiter system was so that they could do their job and he wouldn't have to interact with them. Also here you can see this door spins around and you could put the food on one side, spin it around, and again there'd be no interaction with the servants. Here's the upstairs that I wish I got to see.
Maybe on your head and a long dress. And your last one, sir?
I think so.
All right.
Alright, so we just wrapped up the tour of the house. And still got a little bit more battery here. So this is underneath the first house. Kind of misleading when you think it's just that one little room, but I guess down here was the first kitchen. Some artifacts that have been discovered and dug up here. The original cellar down here. Now we're in the old smokehouse. It's not bad. All you need: fireplace, little table, little bed. I've had apartments that weren't as nice as this. The storage cellar. Got the wine going on. All right. The beer cellar. I mean, how cool is this dude? Wow. So this crazy thing was the ice house. Some interactive displays here. Jefferson's Ferrari. The purpose of this little room was so that Jefferson could come down here, read his books, and look at his property, and look at his garden, and just chill. Now we're walking down what's called Mulberry Row. Forge and quarters. So this wall here is the names of some of the slaves who were here that they know the names of. And this is an interpretive kind of piece for perspective. It's a beautiful view behind it. Another sad fact I learned on the tour is none of these trees were here when Jefferson was here. So all these trees weren't here. Not a single witness tree, they said. This is the family cemetery. The family still owns it, so you can't actually go in there. That's it for our time at Monticello today. I would say that obviously cool that I got to go there and experience that. Something I've always wanted to do, but it is really touristy and really expensive. And I don't know, kind of disappointing. People ruin it, you know, but still cool experience. Obviously you should come check this out for yourself. Be sure to like and subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and as always, thanks so much for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one or down the road.